No, you really, really want to, but here's why going back to your ex is probably not the best thing for you. If you didn't know it, I'm Myesha, life strategist for women who want it all, author, speaker, and your new best friend. I am speaking on this from experience. I met the love of my life back in 2001, and it was boom, pow, magic, and all the things, connection. Woo, hi. It was given, honey. And I was 18 and a half and the fireworks were going off. We broke up. He came to me and said, "You're not my wife. I want to find my wife." I was completely devastated, beyond heartbroken, like where you can't eat, you can't sleep, you cry every single day. And I did that for 9 months straight. And he came back and proposed to me. We never got back together. He proposed to marry me. And I thought, well, I thought he was the most perfect person for me. So yeah, let's go on a new love affair. And we were married for 18 years and we divorced. Here's what my thinking is. And a lot of people, it works magically, right? They break up, they go their separate way, and then fate, love, God brings them back together. And it's the kind of romantic story we see in the movies that we want. I know that's what I was hoping for. I was like, maybe this is a dream come true. I used to tell people the story all the time. Look, guys, we broke up and we got back together. See? Love wins, right? Here's what I think, honestly, about this. Number one, if you're gonna go back, don't go back unless you're healed. When there is a break in the relationship, the terms have to be renegotiated, because when you go back, you pick up where you left off. You were the same person. You were conditioned to accept the things you accept. He was conditioned to accept the things and want the things that he wanted. When you just say, "I'm going back," you pick up where you left off. And the same issues you had typically are still there. Unless there is growth and transformation in two parties, getting back together can be harmful to you or not helpful. Do your work and heal. If that person really loves you, if God is really bringing you back together, then you can get back together when you have properly grieved the relationship that just ended. And you say, "Hello, this is me now. If you're gonna love me, you gotta love me in the version I am today, not who you met me as 20 years ago." A lot of times we're just wanting to go back because we wanna get rid of the pain. It's easier to go to what we know. People say that the devil that you know is better than the one you don't. So it's our source of comfort. And if we got abandonment issues and attachment issues, we're gonna cling to what we've known because it's safe there. Even if it's dysfunctional and unhealthy, it's still safe. It's home. Be clear on whether or not you're leading to go back is to avoid dealing with the truth, to avoid dealing with the pain. We can put religion on top of it and say, well, God said, and we can do all that to mask the truth. But only you know whether or not you're going back for the right reasons or not. Number two, when you go back to your ex prematurely, you miss out on new experiences. That yes, you will have what you've known, but what about all the things that you have yet to experience because of that decision? New opportunities, new relationships, new connections, new discovery about who you are. Be careful when you go back too soon, you eliminate the opportunity to grow in new ways. Number three, going back to your ex can be re-traumatizing. If you've already broken up, it took a great deal of courage to move out of that situation, right? Some people have gotten a new home, they've gotten a new setup, they've started to put their best foot forward and to create a new life. So when you go back and it happens again, it can even be more traumatizing. You relive this experience all over again. Number four, sometimes by going back, we're not honoring our own self-worth, our value, our self-esteem. Like, it's hard for me to say this because I remember my self-esteem being so low. Like, it was low and you couldn't do anything to help me. It was just low. I just hoped like that I could have a meaningful anything, right? I personally said if I never met another person for the rest of my life, it's okay. Like, I've lived that experience, it's fine. That's the conclusion I came to because I didn't know if I was worthy of love in my future at the time. So I get it. I understand from the inside out what that feels like. And I also know the woman that I am today has grown so much that if I would have let that version of me choose my partner, it would have been a nightmare. Give yourself the space to grow, to heal, to discover the beauty of who you really are. And that version should choose whether you want to go back or not. Not the you that you were when the breakup happened. Sometimes our low self-esteem, our low self-worth, our inability to see beyond the now will cause us to go back to things that we really shouldn't. Number 5, when we go back, sometimes we are delaying the inevitable. It may give you another 10 years, another 15 years, but at some point, if your relationship was not meant to work, if these two people that are in this relationship were just not meant to go the long haul, then it's not gonna work. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whether you stop, you break up for 5, you go back, you do another 10. I've seen it and I've heard it both ways. I know for me, it was just 9 months of distance, but still, the inevitable happened. Sometimes you might be just putting a Band-Aid on a pain that's gonna happen later. And you're saying, just not now. And that's okay if that's your choice. You need to experience it. I wrestled with it. I would be lying to you if I didn't think that maybe we could have gotten back together. I did it. It was far easier than doing the work. Like, I've known you my whole life. You're my person. Like, I love you. We have a family, of course. Something inside of me said, maybe we could just work it out. Like, even though we filed papers, who cares? Our divorce was practically final, and I was still thinking there was hope to be back together. But I allowed time to do its work. I allowed the healing to take place. And I said, if that's the case, I would want to make that decision a year from now in a better state. No matter what, we're doing the best we can. Here's another one. Sometimes we want to go back because we're pressured to do so from society, from our moms, from our parents, from our church community. We just feel like it's just, let me satisfy everybody else by keeping this thing going. For the sake of everybody else but you, you want to go back. Honor yourself. Honor your experience. Allow it to happen the way it's happening. And push out not just wise counsel, because you need that. You need wisdom in your life to say, here's a blind spot you're not seeing. I'm saying if you've already made the decision to end a relationship, the goal moving forward should be, how do I heal? How do I grieve? And if your thoughts are, let me just go back. Let me just get them back. Let me just win them back. So then I don't have to deal with my mom, or I don't have to deal with being alone, or I don't have to deal with insecurities, or I don't have to do these other things that are necessary. Then it's probably not a good idea to go back. I have heard tremendous stories of love and people making it work and remarrying. I've heard a lot of stories of people who remarried and divorced again. I don't know where you fit in the spectrum. I'm just here to offer you some things to think about along the journey. It is normal and natural to crave what you have known. Sameness creates comfort. Difference creates destiny. You want to see what you're made out of. Do something different this time. Let me know in the comments your POV. What's your experience with going back? Share your story. And if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Can't wait to read what you're about to say in the comments right now. I will see you again soon.